Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Quality Shot Boxing. I'm Ali, and in today's video, we will be going through the four huge fights over this past weekend: the Maya Baumgardner fight, the Clarissa Shields Savannah Marshall fight, the Devin Haney George Kambosos Jr. rematch, fight number 2, as well as the Deontay Wilder vs Robert Helenius fight. But before I get into the video, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really, really, really helps us. It helps us to put out more content. And if you see some of the videos we've recorded and reposted, we've got such high views, and that's all down thanks to you lot. Your constant love and support, your constant encouragement helps us to put out more meaningful and great content for you all. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So, I mean, it was very much such an action-packed weekend. I stayed up for hours on end. God knows how many cups of espresso I told my mom to make. Probably finished half the jar already. But it was so long, but in all honesty, it was so worth it because there was so much action that went on. I mean, the first fight, the Maya Baumgardner fight, it was a very interesting fight, very closely contested fight. However, I would have personally given it to Maya. I think the decision that was given was incredibly ridiculous, such a robbery, and even some of the decisions that the rounds that I scored it. I mean, it was very similar to like some many pundits, especially Johnny Nelson. I mean, Johnny Nelson said at best he would have given it a draw, but most likely he would have given it a win to Maya, and I felt the same thing. There were some rounds that obviously Maya dominated, some rounds that Baumgardner rightfully won, and there were some very closely contested rounds that if I had to pick, I would have given it to Maya. And same thing, I guess, with all these other pundits. So many people across the boxing world who watched this fight felt that this was an incredible robbery. And I firmly believe that, I share that sentiment. I mean, I scored the fight on a round-by-round basis. So if you check out the other videos on our channel, you can watch it and let me know in the comments down below if you agree with my scores. But yeah, I mean, what better way to start a whole event, a whole evening of action than with controversy? I mean, in a sport like boxing, controversy sells. But yeah, I mean, it was a robbery for that fight, and I felt that Maya was robbed horribly. And the thing that annoyed me, and if I was Maya, that really would, for want of a better word, really pee me off, is that Baumgardner afterwards said on her Instagram, or I think in an interview, she said that she's refusing to give her another rematch now. I think that's absolutely ridiculous beyond belief. She was gifted the decision. I don't know from what planet, what universe, what multiverse that the referees would have given it to her, to Baumgardner. I think it was a absolutely atrocious decision. But at the end of the day, this is boxing. We started to become more and more accustomed to this. Hopefully there's a rematch, and I really hope that Maya gets her revenge, because Baumgardner, she did not deserve that win at all. But it is what it is. On to the next fight, the Clarissa Shields Savannah Marshall fight. And I have to say, this fight was absolutely crazy. I'll be honest, I've never really watched a women's boxing before, but having watched this, I can say without a doubt this is one of the most entertaining fights I have watched this year. Most certainly a fight of the year contender. So much action packed. It was just crazy how the different contrasting style of fights. I mean, Shields is such an excellent counterpuncher, and she's not just an excellent counterpuncher, she's an excellent counterpuncher with venom. And what I mean by that is every single punch that she threw it with intensity. She wanted to really hurt Marshall, and that's very impressive. For her to be able to carry that out throughout the entirety of the fight, all 10 rounds, I think it was 10 rounds, all 10 rounds is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Marshall as well. I think Marshall, her style, she was slower than Shields, but she was constantly coming forward. She reminded me of Tyson Fury in a way, in that when Tyson Fury, whenever he fights, he always, kind of he's not jumpy, but he's kind of kind of like trying to put you off, throw you off, moving the hands up and down, moving the arms up and down. Marshall was doing the same thing for the whole fight as well. I mean, that style, if she's accustomed to it, like, credit to her, kudos to her. But I think both women are absolute warriors in that the intensity, in my opinion, was from start to end. From round, you couldn't tell the difference between round 1 or round 10. The only thing that could tell you the difference was at the bottom of the screen where it said round 1 of the round scorecard or the scorecards. Apart from that, if you cover that, I would not be able to tell which round it was. It was such a crazy fight. I mean, personally, I wanted from the outside, I wanted Marshall to win. I liked Marshall's character more than Shields because I always felt that Shields came across as being a very cocky, very arrogant character. But, like I've said before countless times, credit has to be given where credit is due. Shields completely backs up every single thing that she says, every claim that she has. I think after that, if she was to say, in other words, if she was to say anything else, I won't say, oh no, she's wrong. Without a doubt, in my opinion, she's such an excellent fighter. And same thing with Marshall. I think this is, I mean, considering the women's England's women's success for the Euros it was early this year. I think women's sport is definitely on the rise. Definitely, I mean, I can't even say it's on the rise. It's already there. And I mean, this was a sold out arena. It was an all-female card as well. So that's incredible for women's sport, going in the future, because not only are women's, smashing it in, we've seen it in the UFC. Not only are they smashing it in football, they're also smashing it in boxing. So you've got 3 very major sports that are always at the forefront, it's like some of the most popular sports. And I think what Shields and Marshall, especially in regards to boxing, anyways, what they did on Saturday is without a shadow of a doubt going to essentially, it's like the blueprint for future women's sports success, the success of future women's sports. And I think that's absolutely a testament to them. And personally, I'm sure almost every young girl who's active, who wants to get into sports or who loves sports, especially boxing, will see them as their heroes and as their role models. But I mean, where does women boxing go from here? I think personally, Shields and Marshall need to have another fight, because this was a very, 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 very good fight. It wasn't a lopsided fight. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Shields got if I remember correctly, I think she got the unanimous scorecard. But I think it was a very close fight. It was very close. I think one judge gave it, a greater win on rounds compared to the other 2 judges, but it wasn't like a one-sided domination. It was never a one-sided beatdown. It was so close, such an intense fight, and I hope they fight again, because I certainly will be watching the fight. Absolutely crazy fight. On to the third fight of the evening, or of the whole week, of the event of the night, the Devin Haney Kambosos fight. I mean, the fight reminded me similar of the first, in that it was very intense. Both fighters were going at it. I think there were times where Haney hesitated and Kambosos stuck it on him, but I mean, overall the decision was completely right. I think Haney got the rightful decision, correct decision in my opinion. I think, not only did he give Kambosos cuts, he gave him a cut, I think, on his left eye, and on his just on the left eyebrow, or along this section of his left eye, and I think somewhere at the top near on his right. So he was cut on both ends. And I mean, Haney controlled the tempo of the fight. Barra perhaps a few rounds, Haney definitely controlled the tempo of the fight. I mean, I had him up. If you watch the video of the live watch along, I had Haney up for most of the fight. I think, once again, that's a rightful decision. Where do both fighters go from here? Could they have a rematch? I think possibly yes, but not right now. Maybe in the future. I mean, Haney's undisputed lightweight champion. Who's he gonna fight? I mean, he's got Garcia, he's got Shakur Stevenson, he's probably got Lomachenko, he's got Max Hughes. I understand Gervonta Davis, even though these fighters are perhaps slightly different categories, they're very similar in that if they would somehow meet at the catch weight fight, or sorry, meet at for a catchweight fight. I mean, we've seen it with Canelo. He's going up and down through the ranks, through the weight divisions, and we've seen Usyk do the same thing. I'm sure they could do something for that, because it's without a shadow of a doubt ignites such a huge rivalry, because you've got so many top elite level contenders. You've got the Ryan Garcia, you've got the Devin Haney, you've got the Javante Tank Davis, you've got the Lomachenko, you've got the Teofimo Lopez, you've got the Haney, you've got the Cambosos, you've got so many, the Maxi Hughes, as I understand in the recent video that my friend Faison recorded. I think Max Hughes is, I think he's a contender for one of the world bouts, or he's soon to be a contender. So, guys, check out the video, watch it as well. Let us know, what you think. What you think is, the future with these particular weight divisions. And on to the the fourth and final fight of the night, Wilder's Helenia. I mean, crazy fight. Truth be told, very quick knockout. I was so shocked that it was that quick. And granted, I predicted that this will end in a knockout in favor of Wilder, but I never expected to not only end in the first round, but end in the manner in which Deontay Wilder threw that punch. I mean, we're so accustomed to seeing Deontay Wilder throw and stepping forward. And earlier on in that round, there was one occasion where he threw such a powerful right, I don't know what you want to call it, cross, windmill, rocket, whatever. He just threw you know what? I'm just going to call it, he threw at Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder threw at Deontay Wilder, and he missed. But had he connected with that, my God, that would have been one of the most devastating knockouts I would have ever seen in my life. I mean, the knockout he gave Helenius, he was kind of fighting on the back foot towards the corner. And he threw, I think, while he was stepping back. So that tells you the power that he has is absolutely nuts. Granted that, earlier on, even before that Wilder threw the Wilder moment, there were times where Helenius threw a couple of punches and you could tell he had some lethal, some power, some venom behind it. And we've seen it in his fights in Kaunaki. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced the name. I'm going to say Kaunaki. Sorry if I've mispronounced the name, if you're watching this, Adam. But I felt that Deontay Wilder was hesitant of the power, of Helenius' power. Now, Helenius is no joke. He's a powerful guy, and, testament to him, I think he announced at the end of the fight, I mean, when Wilder visited him in his locker room, that he's going to retire. He's been in the fight game for like 25 years. So if that's the case, well done to you, my man. Like, and hope you enjoy your retirement, and hopefully we can see you still involved in boxing. And in fact, shout out to Robert Helenius. He liked the post on our Instagram page, QualityShot Boxing. So thank you if you're watching this. But what next for Wilder? I think it'll be interesting to see him and Joshua, because I think both fighters have suffered some losses. I mean, Wilder just won now, and I think Wilder's doing the right thing in terms of finding his way back up to the top, because Fury did the same thing after he fought Wilder the first time, which I will maintain till the end of time and beyond. A robbery for Wilder. That was not a draw. Fury got robbed. Fury, he fought, had essentially two tune-up fights against Otto Wallin, and I think the other German guy, I forgot his name, Walsh or something like that. So, I think Wilder did the right thing with fighting a contender in Helenius. I think he should fight another contender up and coming for perhaps challenging someone else. I mean, I understand recently Wilder and Ruiz talks to have an eliminator for, I think, Tyson Fury's belt. That would be very, 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 very interesting. A very good fight. And I think, to be honest, it's at the right stage for both fighters to fight each other. I mean, Andy Ruiz, since he fought Ortiz, I think, in the video that one of the first videos I recorded for QualityShot Boxing, I had a review on the Ortiz and the Ruiz fight. So I think it'll be a very good fight for both of them to see how well they weigh up against each other. Both fighters are absolute, they are such bangers. Like, they've got so much power behind them, so much venom. They both got power. I mean, Deontay Wilder, need we say any more? Ruiz, his power is ridiculous as well. For a guy of his size and stature, and with all due respect to him, you wouldn't assume and you wouldn't think that he's able to do what he does. And we've seen Wilder become, well, in my opinion anyways, the way I see it, he's become very fearful of those with powerful, with knockout power. So it'll be interesting to see how both fighters pan out, if they were to fight, and ultimately if they will fight Fury. But yeah, I mean, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video so much. And if you haven't watched the live watch alongs from, beg your pardon, from the weekend, please, 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 please do watch them. Granted, they are a bit long, but believe me, I am sure they'll be worth every single second. Guys, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Like I said before, it really helps us, and we actually enjoy it when we see some comments and some likes, because that way we know not only are we doing our job and helping to put out meaningful content for you all, but whenever any comments have come in on the live watch alongs or even in the videos down below, like on YouTube, like where someone says something, we can engage in debate. Ultimately, this is a channel for all lovers of boxing. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in the next video. Over and out.